in sports. We're down to the second last week of playing on the gridiron. Games are on top as well.
Welcome to the NTV Sports Central Podcast with your host, NTV Sports reporter, Randy Silver. We have a fantastic episode today. It's jam-packed with Huskers football and Huskers volleyball. Both have started their fall camps. We have reports from both. I was live at all of it. Press conferences from Nebraska football. I was at Nebraska volleyball's first practice. No interviews yet, no press conferences. That's next week. Today we're recording August 1st. Happy August 1st, everybody. Happy August. But I have exclusive video from the practice that you won't see anywhere, breaking down some of the new players, who's returning, everything in between, how they look in day one of their fall camp. Please like, subscribe to NTV News so you don't miss any of this, or on socials so you see this podcast weekly, folks. Normally this comes out Thursday at 5 p.m. Central. However, with covering all the sports, took me a day to get everything together, so it's coming out today on Friday. But the goal is Thursday at 5 p.m. If not, don't worry. We give you everything on a weekly basis. You won't ever miss it because we talk Huskers, Big Red. Let's get into it. Nothing to wait for. So the big thing to start with, let's start football, and then we'll move to volleyball. Dana Holgorsen, the offensive coordinator, Nebraska Football OC, newer to the team, taking over. How's this offense looking so far 1 week in the fall? Well, we know an offense in football is only as good as their QB, and that's what he's looking for from year one to year two, QB1, QB2, year one to year two with QB1, Dylan Raiola. What has changed? What his growth? What is he looking for?
Keep controlling the game. I've said this before. His football knowledge is advanced, and so we're putting a lot of things on him from going to the line of scrimmage and looking and seeing what's going on and getting us in the best play. Okay, and he can do that at very high levels. So, the leadership stuff, that's been awesome. The conditioning has been awesome. His rapport with people is awesome. The timing with the receivers is getting better, but managing the offense and getting us into the right play is what I'm looking at. And he's doing a great job of it. And I keep giving him situation after situation after situation within just the play, not the situation in the game, but just within the play, to where he's got to look and read defenses and get us into a better place if he can, which will make us better, make us more efficient if he can continue to get better at that.
And that's a sign of a good quality QB who understands the offense. On Monday, I put out on social media, Emmett Johnson, running back one, talked about Dylan has much more command of this offense this year moving into year two. One, he's not a true freshman starting. And when you're 18 years old, with 20s to 22 to 23, maybe even older, and you're leading the team, how do you find your voice? How do you command? Yes, you're the QB and they expect that, but you got to earn that respect. You got to earn that privilege, and that can be hard. Now, a full year in the offseason, year two with Nebraska, he is a leader, not just as a upperclassman. He's still underclassman, but he's a leader on this team. I saw that at his youth camps. I saw that around campus all summer, and they see him as a leader. And that type of confidence will play itself on the field. Now, when you get the X's and O's, check downs, making sure you understand the right play. If you're starting with the running back on your right side, but the blitz is coming from the left, get him over to your left side so he can pick up the block. Hey, if they're playing a zone 2 defense, cover 2 defense, means corners sit flat and you're running a 5-yard stop, check that to a corner route. Check that to a post route. Check that to a potential slant in between the linebacker and DB. Check it to a go route. That type of stuff is what they're looking for. Or if you have a pass play and they're playing, say, cover 4 zone, check to a run up the middle. There's less linebackers, less people in the box. That's what they want him doing, processing the game. And that's what they're trying to get to. If you look at Dylan's stats last year, let me pull it up for you. Oh, share my screen. There we go. He had 410 pass attempts, 2,800 yards, 67% completion percentage, which isn't terrible. It's relatively high. He averaged 7 yards a pass, long of 59, 13 touchdowns to 11 interceptions. That is the issue. 11 interceptions. When you play 11, 12 games a season, you're throwing 1 interception a game. And that could cost you. Obviously, there are some games you're going to throw more. I would love to see this ratio be more of a 2-to-1. If he can get to around 20 touchdowns to 10 interceptions, or say it's even like 24 touchdowns to 7 interceptions, fantastic. That means the team is doing really good. 27 sacks as well is a bit high. And that's what OC's talking about. Hey, Dylan's got to get rid of the ball. Throw the ball away. Change the play. We can't give up sacks, negative penalties, negative yards. Excuse me, not negative penalties. Especially on 1st and 10, take a sack. Now it's 2nd and 16. 2nd and 4, you take a sack. 3rd and 10. Those plays hurt the offense. Of course, him staying healthy, the weapons around him doing their job as well. So it's good to hear that he's seeing Dylan is doing a better job at grasping the offense, and they're giving him that responsibility to have to do more with the offense and handle it. That's big. Now, let's take it to how's the offense doing overall in the first week of fall camp.
So we should really have a pretty good understanding of what to do, but it's still installation. It's still installation, but there's a lot of technique stuff. I get irritated when guys don't know how to line up or they don't know their assignment. That really irritates me because we have installed it 4 times, right? So at this point, it should be more about, proper technique and getting into, making good decisions and starting to work on situations and then putting guys in position to be able to make plays, and so.
I love what he's saying here. It's about moving into execution. You have winter practices. You have spring practices. You have stuff early around the summer. They should know where to line up. You should know the playbook. If you're doing your homework as an athlete, and again, these players are getting paid now. They've been getting paid a bit, but now it's like official. That is a part of their job to know the playbook. You have 4-week stretch. Basically, we're at the end of week 1. Now you have 3 weeks until Arrowhead when you play Cincinnati. We can't keep telling you how to line up or what route to run, what block to have, how to get into the hole. We need to be able to talk about key situations. Red zone, 2 minutes, whatever it may be. Focus on that. Or like technique. Hey, you went 3 steps and then you swam move. Let's do 3 steps and try to go cut under. Things like that, hey, we can make you better. But if we got to tell you where to line up on the scrimmage or what to do, you won't be playing. I completely understand that. And if you're playing, we need you to make plays. So this offense, how do we make this offense better moving into Dylan's 2nd year?
One of our goals as an offense is to become a little bit more explosive, with more explosive bodies. I think that'll naturally happen. Okay. But that's not what we're going to obsess over. We're not going to be reckless with our play calls just to try to get explosive plays. That will come situationally. That will come where that really shows up and your yards per play go up is just routine play after routine play after routine play. If it's a check down for 5 yards, that's good. That's better than an incompletion, right? So, or that's better than a sack. So just focus on routine plays, taking what the defense gives you. If you do that consistently, those routine plays turn into big plays with good players. And I think we have good players that can turn routine plays into big plays. That will help your yards per play, and that will help your explosive plays as well.
I love what he said there. I think we have good players that can turn routine plays into big plays. Look at the Patriots offense when they had Tom Brady. Yeah, he would have some deep bombs when he had Randy Moss. Hey, like that name. Julian Edelman. What was he? Maybe a couple big plays. Or Gronk, a couple big plays. But the check down. Hey, 1st and 10, let's get 3 yards. 2nd and 8, let's get 2 yards. You're making manageable situations. Tom Brady wouldn't take a sack. He'd get the ball out of his hand. He'd throw the ball away. That is what they're looking for in this offense. That way you don't have negative plays. We just talked about that. It stops momentum. It sets the offense back. It's okay if you don't get on 1st and 10, 15 yards. Make it 2nd and manageable, 2nd and 6, 2nd and 7, 2nd and 4. Hey, on 2nd and 15, we don't need 15 yards. Let's make it 3rd and 7. We had a negative play. Let's go get back and get positive plays. And hey, we have skilled players. Dane Key coming over from Kentucky. You have Emmett Johnson at running back. Ja'Cory, they can make plays. Let's get the ball in their hands and let them do something. Give them an out route and make the cornerback make a miss. Now you go from a 3-yard play to an 8-yard play because of their athleticism. Let our skilled players make those plays. And that's what he's saying is if we make the easy play, make the smart play, it will lead to a better, more efficient offense. If you look at, let me share my screen again, last year's stats. Let me take my camera off for you. Dante Dell, 12 touchdowns. Next highest person was Ja'Cory with 3. But look at the longs. No real long plays. The longest play, 42 yards. So can Dylan, I'm going to bring my camera back up. Can Dylan air the ball out on, say, a play action pass? You get the ball to Emmett Johnson. You're running down the middle with him. Let him make his plays. Now you're sucking the linebackers in. You're sucking the safeties in. You can do play action pass, and that makes an efficient play. Or, hey, you know what? Ja'Cory, run a 5-yard slant. They're sucking in on the run. So now you get the ball on a 1st and 10 slant. 5-yard catch, but the yak, folks, the yards after catch, let the boy run, and he can go make a 50-yard play out of that. But you need to do the routine plays, make smaller incremental plays, and will lead to bigger plays, and letting these people make some big moves. You know, again, Dane Key coming over from Kentucky. He's bringing some seniority experience, playing SEC football. Down in touchdowns last year, but look at his average yards per catch. 14, 15. Big, tall wide receiver. Not this 4.2, 4.3 speed. He's got a big body. And if you look right here, I interviewed him at Dylan's youth football camp. You can check it out if you haven't seen it. It's cued right there for you to see. But it's just important to know that like these type of players, these plays will help make this bigger. If you look at Nebraska team stats, where are we at? Yards per pass attempt, 6.8, which is healthy. Again, nothing crazy, not a lot, but that's healthy. Rushing yards, 1,600. Yards per attempt, 3.8. Not terrible. But can you get this up to potentially 5 yards rush per attempt? And maybe the passing yards goes down a bit if you're doing the routine plays, or it actually goes up because they're coming in on the rush. If you want to go in and look at this, Big Ten football stats 2024. We want to look at teams. Passing yards per attempt. We'll do passing yards per game. That's what we want. Let me move my camera for you folks. Where's Nebraska sit? Middle of the pack, 228. They're basically 40 yards above Purdue and 70, 60 yards below USC. So, can you make this from 228 to passing yards per game, 250? And now you have a more efficient, better offense using those checkdowns. If you want to look at the running game, rushing yards per game, Nebraska, where are you at? 11th, 130. Almost 100 below, 80 yards below Penn State, 20 yards above Maryland. Emmett Johnson, I think, will do better for this team moving forward, but you need to be able to get this, from what I've seen from him, higher and higher, being able to be more efficient with the offense. Look at receiving yards per game. Whereas Nebraska, middle of the pack, 228. So you can see here a middle of the pack team, and that's where they ended up, middle of the pack of the Big Ten. Yes, they went to the Pinstripe Bowl and won a game. But this is what coach is saying. Routine plays, these will help us be more explosive. Our stats will go up because of that. And again, when you look at the standings, Where did Nebraska finish? 224. Where's our end? There it is. 3-6 in conference. 7-6 overall. Larry the Cable Guy said he thinks he can get 10 wins. They get 10 wins, this potentially becomes 6-3 instead of 3-6. And now with 10 wins, where are you at? Illinois, this area, and maybe you're competing for a playoff spot. At this point, no, but the momentum's there. You're riding high. Things can go in your favor. And that takes you to the last part, the wide receiver position I talked about. How is it shaping up so far?
Just got more guys. More guys, and the depth and is what I'm encouraged about. Just especially at the wideout position, adding 4 new guys. The young guys look good. I don't want to get into the names and everything. We know Dane's going to start and be good. We know Jacory's good. He's going to start and be good. And Isaiah showed up out there today, Hunter. But he's got guys behind him that are pushing him. Quinn Clark's pushing him, and Keelan Smith's pushing him. Jeremiah Jones looks really good. Cortez Mills has made a good bit of plays. So we got depth at wideout, which will make those guys better.
I love that. Depth at wideout. And you need depth at football positions everywhere because their injuries happen. And this wide receiver position, you're going to have Dana on one side, Jacory on the other. So you got that big physical wide receiver, possession type of guy, then Jacory, more of the explosive, fast player. Who can take that third spot? Where are we at? You heard some of the names that he mentioned. Nazaya, Demetrius. It'll be interesting to see. Now we look at the tight end. Luke Lindemeyer, interviews up. We talked to him in a media press conference on Monday. Another tight end, unfortunately, just got hurt. So that's the first big thing that we got to talk about injury-wise is a tight end, Mac Markaway, got hurt. And this was my report. I'm at Huskers Volleyball. We'll get to that in a second. But this is going to play my report of the injury from Mac. Unfortunately, retore his ACL, LSU transfer. Just sad to see. And I tore my ACL in college playing college lacrosse, so I know what he's going through. I didn't re-tear it, thankfully. Just sad overall. Staying with Husker sports, we move to football. Second media day availability today. The practice started on Monday. Here, 3 days in. Unfortunately, we do have injury news to start the day.
Unfortunately for us, and unfortunately for him, Mac Markway, after the first practice came in, had some swelling in his knee. Actually not till the next day, and unfortunately the ACL repair failed for him. So, heartbreaking news. He's an unbelievable human. Felt terrible for him. It wasn't like he got hit or he cut necessarily and said, "Oh shoot!" Got that news. It was tremendously devastating to him.
He ran a corner route, and I looked at it. I was like, something didn't look right on that. And he kind of double clutched it, and I was like, that didn't look very good. That's not how that route's supposed to happen. I went up to him like, are you good? He goes, yeah. He went back in there and he finished practice. And he went through the run through, and he's like, something's not right. And so they went and got him an MRI, and he's done. I feel really bad for him. From the tight end perspective room, we still got 6 other guys that all have potential that will get better. They've got better every day, and we're going to be okay at that position.
Mac's injury is a big blow to the tight Inception, watching me do my report while you got me on the podcast. So let's go back really quick. Again, coming over from LSU, Luke Lindemeyer is slated per Husker Corner, the #1 depth chart. We haven't seen the depth charts come out yet, so we're waiting for that to happen, and we'll break that down here, of course. But depth at this position, injuries happen, so we'll see how this plays out, and we wish him a speedy recovery. Of course, hate to see injuries, especially week 1 of fall camp when you're just getting really into the thick of it before the physical side, full pads happen. You saw they're in shorts and just shells. And that takes us now to Nebraska Volleyball. Very excited for this. This team, folks, looks dangerous. I know it was only just at a camp. They were going like 75% speed. They weren't really hitting super hard. It was more about technique and practice, but they look really, really good. They look athletic. Dani Busboom Kelly, obviously a legend in her own right as a player with the Huskers, coming back. Likes more rotation. John Cook was very set in his ways. A smaller roster, 17 players, and they all look like they could play. And as somebody who's 5'8", a lot of them, pretty much all of them, were taller than me. When you look at this roster, folks, let me pull up the screen. Carrie Leinbach coming in as a freshman libero. If you're from Nebraska, you're from the Lincoln area, you know her well. Lincoln Lutheran. She looked very energetic, getting her first taste. Probably could push a bit, but most likely won't play this year. Bergen Riely, All-American setter. Expect her to be a captain, most likely. Will be voted by the team that DBK said. She was a captain in the spring season. Ali Czech coming over from Baylor, 6'4" senior, could jump. Oh my God, I was impressed at how high she jumped. And you got Campbell Flynn, the freshman. Rebecca Alec, a Big Ten all-conference team, preseason member, senior 6'4". She looked energized in practice. I'm going to show you a bunch of videos, folks. Don't go anywhere. And she looked hype. She was also at Big Ten Media Day, picked there to be there by DBK along with Harper, meaning they expect high things from her. And then at the libero position, Macy Boysiger, and Lainey Troboy both played a lot last year, of course, replacing the legend here, Rodriguez. Now the question is, who's able to step in to that role? You know, watching it, Lainey had a little bit more fierceness to her, a little bit more competitive edge. Macy, a little bit more of a playful. And DBK said it may come down to the mood of the team, what they need on the court at the time. But they both were high-fiving after every play and cheering each other on. The big name that I saw today, Virginia Adriano. And if I said that wrong, let me re-say it. Virginia Adriano, the Italian, 6'5", opposite hitter. Menace, folks. She was a pro in Italy. Didn't play a lot, but got minutes. She has 3 years of NCAA eligibility. She is every bit of 6'5". She barely jumped and was blocking balls. You put her on one side, you put Harper on the other side. Taylor Landfair at 6'5", looked amazing as well. Was hitting the ball really well, blocking. And then you have Manaia Agbechii, excuse me if I said that wrong. I'm still learning some of these names. Looked amazing. A middle blocker, had multiple blocks with the first team. Looking really good. You have Ryan Hunter, 6'2" freshman. We haven't even talked about Andi Jackson, All-American middle blocker, who will be starting for this team. And then, of course, the team leader, Harper Murray, outside hitter. Another All-American. Harper, Andi, Bergen, and Rebecca. Preseason, all Big Ten teams. The whole team itself picked number 1 in the Big Ten. And we got a lot of video to go over for you to show you. Let me get this all up. And what I love seeing here, folks, is DBK coaching. Again, during the summer, she had a child, which is great. Wasn't around the team as much as she talked about she would have liked. Now she's able to be ingrained with the team 24/7. Here she is, just out there coaching, talking to players, making herself involved. Not sitting on the side, not there with a chair, just hanging out, in there with the team. I don't think you can hear this, but she's talking about drills, talking about techniques, what's going on. The whole team is super into it, super attentive. You got Harper right there, making sure that they're all on the same page. And look like they're smiling, laughing at the end. DBK talked about, I want to get home to my family. I have a young family. Practice is quick. There was no downtime between drills. It wasn't lagging. It wasn't sitting. It was drill A to drill B, get a water, drill C, drill D, get a water, drill E, drill F. They were moving. They were in and out very, very quickly. And it was they weren't lagging around. Yes, they're having fun, but they were doing what they needed to do to be successful. Again, right here, look at this, folks. POV, you're the new head coach of Nebraska Volleyball. You're right there in the thick of it, watching. Hey, what players are doing well, not doing well? How can I coach? Help them out. And you can just see, folks, like, look how tall this team is. They're going to be a menace on the net, and we're going to show that in a second. They're going to be a problem in the Big Ten and nationally. First match, of course, AVCA, August 22nd, 24th, that weekend. Pitt and Stanford. Alumni match the weekend before that, August 16th, August 9th, inter-squad scrimmage. And the biggest competition most likely will be at Libero. Again, they have 4 Liberos, all could probably play. You have 2 upperclassmen, the junior, senior, Laney and Macy, and then you have the younger ones. And just look at this team, folks. They're about to do a serving drill, and there's a coach in there coaching them, talking them up, not just sitting on the side, letting the assistant coaches do something. She's leading. She's being vocal with the practices. Everyone's engaged. And one more of her coaching. Again, just showing you, because we haven't really seen her coaching Nebraska. Yeah, we saw some stuff in spring, but this is her real time. Now we're making the money. It's fall camp, getting into the regular season. She's out there leading the team, coaching the team, talking about the drills, what is needed, what is expected. Everyone's engaged. No one's out like talking to the side. And again, just look how tall these players are. They are massive, incredibly good athletes too. And you got your All-American setter, Bergen. I mean, those one perfect set. And then she's doing the back set. Unbelievable. Just, I don't know if you've played volleyball before, but the back set is just incredibly hard. She's putting it perfect positions every time. The outside hitter, the opposite hitter can just nail it. And there's the head coach right there coaching on. You got serving. Something I think this team probably can get better on. They talked about getting better at jump serves. Harper talked about wanting to be a better server as well. There's your libero. I love that. Liberos right there getting it in. And you can just see the difference. Like liberos, I think they're 5'4", 5'8", 5'6". Now you got 6'4", 6'2", 6'5". Just having fun. This team, obviously very early in the fall, having fun in unison together on the serve. A little bit more of libero practice for y'all. So again, just practicing their serving, getting their ups together, and every time, what are they doing? High-fiving. Even on the ball that went out, high five. Hey, great eye, way to not hit it. High five, way to see it. You got Laney and Macy here again, the 2 upperclassmen liberos who will most likely be taking the minutes. The question is who will be starting. DVK will hopefully find out next week in her interview. Just more of the liberos right here. Just, again, getting reps in, practicing, serving versus digging. Let me take some of these away. Oops. And then this is the girl I want to talk about, Miss Adriano from Italy. 6'5", opposite hitter, folks. She is dangerous. She is so tall, every bit of 6'5". Playing professionally, she has experience of playing with older people. Now you're playing in college of different ages, probably a bit younger. She has 3 years of eligibility. They looked at how much money she made, how many years she should play pro, and was able to get that worked out. And they were talking to her. DBK said at the Big Ten Media Day, before she became head coach, it wasn't something that she did or different. You know, playing opposite, people say maybe she can't dig and play defense as much. I mean, look at that. That's right there where the setter needs to be. That's right there where the setter needs to be. Look at the 6'5" girl getting low, getting on the ground, getting high fives. I think she's going to be a future All-American in this program, especially with her height and ability. Then you put her on the net. Look at that blocking, folks. She's barely jumping, and her elbows are at the top of the net. That is somebody who's going to be a problem. And I love this this blocking drill up on the box, getting up high, having to make the block. And all these girls, again, 6 foot, 6'2", 6'4", able to just make the blocks. Me at 5'8", it's tough. They make it look effortless. As Steph Curry says, effortless. That's what you want to see. Look at these blocks. Just right where they need to be, straight down. We're going to go back to Virginia. Here she is. So high up. Andi Jackson's the same way. Their hands are over the net. Andy's not in this group, though. And here is your preseason Big Ten team. 3 of the 4 girls. Rebecca Alec in the middle. Your middle blocker. You have Bergen Riely, your setter. And then you got Harper Murray, your outside hitter. This is a sign to go. And then if you look right there, I'm pretty sure that's Laney. Let's just make sure. Yeah, you got Laney, I think, right there. It's higher than the grainy photo. Just want to make sure we say these names correctly. And then you got net. I think that's right there. You got Taylor Landfair, your 6'5" outside hitter. And I can't see who that is net. But again, going through drills, but getting an idea of who potentially could be starting on this team. And then just some more blocking drills. It's just, these girls are mad athletic. So again, until we speak to the coach, understand what she's looking at, like playing a 6-2, whatever it may be, rotations, not a lot of we can dissect. We're just looking at what the team looks like. And folks, this team looks raw. This team looks really, really good. Athletically, they look like they're cohesive together and they're having fun. I was at the youth camp of Andi, Harper, and Bergen together, and I asked them each, what's it like having DBK as a coach so far? Let's hear their answers.
Honestly, so seamless. Having Dani, I think a lot of people expected there to be kind of a bumpy transition, but I think the fact that we lost no one, we actually gained people, and just how seamless our transition has been. Obviously, people can't see the internal stuff, but from the inside perspective, it's been so smooth and seamless, and Dani's been so incredible. So obviously, we love Coach, we respect him, we miss him, but Dani's been so awesome, and we're really happy to have her.
I love that. It's been seamless from the inside. You can't recognize, and that's exactly what you want from a coach who is coming into this program. Now, Harper, her thoughts.
I just love how she understands us. She's a woman. She's been through it before. She's played. She's coached. She's been in every position that we have. So I just love that she trusts us and that she's there for us. And of course, it's amazing to have a new coach and maybe have a new era of volleyball come out of Nebraska. So she's just been awesome. She's super laid back, which is a shift from John. So it's just been fun to have a little difference coming in this year.
Super laid back. Again, John Cook, this is not a slight at him. It's just people coach differently. And he's a little bit more intense. She's more laid back. She's more fun. You can see that in the way that they've already been practicing. Of course, a woman coaching a women's team. She's not trying to slide John there, just saying hey, you may understand us a bit more. Also a bit younger, different generation, understands what we're going through. So she sees the positives in the change. Of course, Harper and John have a great relationship. This is nothing against him. Just recognizing the differences the new coach brings. And then lastly, your set at Bergen.
Yeah, I think this year is going to look a little bit different with Dani, but we're just really excited to get back to playing. We have unfinished business from last year, and we have a lot of new girls, but it's been really fun getting to learn how to play with them and connect with them and play under Dani, and it'll look different, but we're really excited.
Unfinished business, losing in the Natty semifinals, big time, reverse sweep, and they're hungry. You can see it. And they have a celebrity fan as well. I had the chance to interview Larry the Cable Guy. If you missed it, it's on the channel. I asked him his thoughts on Big Red Volleyball. He's a big Nebraska sports fan, good friends with John Cook. And then finally, John Cook is a good friend of yours, no longer leading the volleyball team. They have Dani. Yes, and that's John Cook next to him. This is Nebraska's big rodeo. John Cook was the Grand Marshal in 2024. Larry the Cable Guy, Grand Marshal in 2025. John Cook was still there. Busboom Kelly, what are your thoughts on the volleyball team as they gear up for their season as well?
Oh, Dani's going to be great. I know Dani too. So Dani's going to be great. I mean, she when you think of Nebraska volleyball, you also think of Dani Busboom. Even when she was at Louisville, you thought of Dani Busboom. So it just keeps his legacy going. There's not going to be a drop-off. She's great. Everybody likes her. So she's probably the other best coach that was out there.
Yes,
So
yeah.
Louisville was probably sad to lose her.
Yes.
But, yeah, there won't be any drop-off. No.
I love that confidence from him. And then lastly, I had a chance to talk to DBK at the opening ceremony for the Cornhusker State Games. This has not been released quite yet, so stay tuned, folks, on the channel. We're going to release this for you, and this is a bit teaser so you don't miss it. This is an exclusive, and maybe we'll play a bit of it next week. So overall, folks, love what I'm seeing from Huskers volleyball, the energy there. Obviously, week 1. Next week, we'll have press conferences with DBK and a couple players, get more insights there, and of course, we'll share it on this channel. And football will gear up as they move to week 2 of fall camp, putting them closer to playing Cincinnati. So if you have any questions, any comments, like and subscribe, of course, share what you think. And now that takes us to roaming with Randy. I live here in Lincoln. I want to enjoy the summer before the winter hits, where I'm not a winter baby, never lived in winter, so I've been very active. And Lincoln's known, in Nebraska itself, but a lot of Lincoln, trails for days, biking, walking, running, whatever it is, and I explored it. So let's share the roaming with Randy. And of course, you can watch the full episode on the YouTube channel as well.
This used to be a railroad line. Now it's where I ride, walk, run, whenever I need a break from literally life. It's called the Jamaica North Trail, and it's part of a longer system called the Homestead Trail, named after the Homestead Act. This doesn't just start and end in Lincoln. You can take this all the way down to Kansas. Yes, interstate, never having to hit the highway. Kind of cool, right? History happened here. Set that aside, it's just fun. Soft gravel, no cars, people say hi when they pass by you. Midwest nice. In the summer, get out, relax. But even in the winter, you can cross-country ski here if you can brave the cold. All in all, there's over 130 miles of connected trails around Lincoln. You can go from city traffic to trees to prairies in 5 minutes. I love it. If you haven't taken your bike out, run, whatever it may be, trust me, you're missing one of the best parts of living in Nebraska. Go check it out.
For more Roaming with Randy, please like and subscribe to Randy Silver TV and NTV News. If there's a place I should check out, food I should try, activity to do, please let me know, comment, subscribe. See you on the next one.
I hope you enjoy that. Again, link below for you to watch the full episode. And that is this week's NTV Sports Central Podcast with your host, Randy Silver, Husker Volleyball, Husker Football. If anything else you want to talk about, please subscribe. And of course, leave your comments. I would love to start playing some comments from you guys. Leave us voicemails on social media or type it in, and then I'll play it for you in the future weeks or show it, and we'll digress and talk about it. For NTV Sports, I'm Randy Silver. Please enjoy. We'll see you very soon.
In sports, we're down to the second last week of playing on the gridiron.